look. Like, my body image is broken. On my bad days, I think my body is disgusting, and I still think I'm fat, even though I'm not. And I know that I'm not. And on my bad days, I can see myself how I really look. But that only happens on the good days. Uh, so like whenever I look into the mirror, what I see, what looks back to me, it depends on my mood completely. And that's why I used to take pictures, because when I was looking at pictures, I could see, hey, True Titan. When I looked back at the pictures, I could see something real. You know, I could compare the pictures and see progress, or
Follow mode engaged.
or going in the wrong way, so I could decide what
Thank you
to
for the
do
follow
about
through,
it.
Titan.
Uh, so that's I think that's what unstable self-image or sense of self means. Okay, next point is impulsive behavior in at least two areas which are self-damaging. Spending, sex, substance abuse, reckless driving, binge eating. Okay, I can check spending. I don't drive, and I used to binge eat, so whatever. This doesn't really apply on me anymore. But this is self-explanatory, so I don't really want to talk about this anymore because it's like really obvious. The next point is recurrent suicidal behavior, gestures or threats, or self-harming behavior. About this, this is like, obviously I don't really want to talk about this, but I used to self-harm a lot, like cutting. I I started to do that when I was 8, and I stopped it around 4 years ago. And I did it regularly, and it was never, with cutting, it was never my intention to kill myself. I did it because uh, feeling physical pain was always better than feeling emotional pain. And with borderline, how our mood shifts, it's mostly, it's not between happy and sad or such, it's mostly between anger and sadness. So there are very few happy periods and whatever. So when I was down, or I still am, it's still like a part of my life. I don't do it anymore, but like every time I feel down, I that's the first thing I think of. Like I would want to cut, but I don't do that anymore because I think my body is more worthy than to actually destroy it with cutting. So I'm gonna show you a picture about this later. Anyway, so most of the people do this to just deal with emotional pain. This is how we cope, because physical pain is somehow better and easier to bear. I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but like for me, this is normal. This is how I cope with emotional pain, switching it to physical, because that's always easier. Now I don't cut. What I do sometimes is I bite myself so hard that it, like, just to feel pain, and that's not, so drastic, and it's not bleeding, so it's probably better or whatever. I don't know how to say. So I don't want to really harm myself that way, but physical pain helps me with emotional pain. uh about suicidal threats, I think Demon can talk about that. uh there was I think recently when I kind of hit rock bottom, and I actually really was thinking of it. I was drunk, by the way, so it's obviously not a good thing either.
It's one of the
But
reasons
I
why,
do.
like, a lot of people ask, like, whenever you have like a drinking stream or something, you wonder why I'm always asking questions like am I so, like, why am I so careful about letting you drink and all this sort of stuff, and
I know.
I
Yeah.
kind of don't explain it to them, but that's kind of why, because for me, like, I've for me having to experience that, I've never experienced that before, and for me having to experience that, not only do I want to like protect myself in not having to experience it again, I don't want to. I want to make sure that you know that Frag doesn't have to worry about having to go to that place again. And when for that situation, the way it came across was that she was the reason she was drinking on that night was because she wanted to remove herself from her issues. But the problem is with alcohol, and why drug abuse and all this sort of stuff isn't the answer, is because all it does is it gives you a false sense of security. It doesn't actually make you do things that it doesn't actually make you do anything. It just gives you a false sense of security, which is
Well,
why.
it doesn't even do that.
No,
It
but
just.
it's no. I mean, like, false sense of security is the wrong choice of words. It's more that like, if you look at people that go out, and these could be very quiet people, but when they have a couple of drinks in them, they're very
Yeah,
active and
it
they're
can.
talking to a lot of
Yeah,
people.
it
It's
can be like that.
because they build up this bit of confidence, whereas it also goes in the opposite route, where it can completely, you start getting in your head a lot more, you start getting paranoid, you start doing all that sort of stuff. It's why you have to be very careful when taking any sort of substance, that you just, if you're in a dark place and all that sort of stuff, even though it might help to numb the pain or any of that sort of stuff, it isn't actually the cure to any of your issues.
Yeah, I agree completely.
When it's mental, anyway. Some there you can get.
Exactly what Ben said in chat. It enhances those emotions you're having already.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're okay, you're gonna be okay or more okay, or I don't know. But when you're in the darkest place you can be, it's just gonna put you more down on that.
And that's with any
So
type of stuff. It's not just with alcohol. It's with any, and there are medications.
Friendly pilot
Spectre
on
Shock,
board.
thank you for the host. There are medications going on. There are medications that people can have that help with anxiety and help with specific mental uh, problems, physical, mental, all sorts of different medications, and even them, they have to be taken in a controlled situation, where you can't take too much, you can't take too much over a certain amount of time. It's why you have to follow the label precisely and all that sort of
yeah, but
stuff.
I for example don't follow the labels. I never do. So this is why I don't really like drugs, well, prescription drugs, which came from psychiatrics and whatever, because I know myself and I wouldn't take the limits. I would just abuse it. So the
Exactly.
only thing I take is my anti-anxiety medication, which you really can't really overdose because it just gonna make you more relaxed and maybe make you sleep. Even if you take the whole bottle of pills, it won't do anything. That's the only thing I dare to
Well, I
use.
wouldn't. I wouldn't advise anybody taking the whole bottle of pills.
Obviously, don't do that,
That's not
of
something
course.
that I would
But
recommend
like
anyone doing.
because as in the previous points, it was mentioned, impulsive behavior and substance abuse. I do that. I drink because I want to get wasted. I don't drink because I want to get tipsy. If I drink, I want to get drunk, the drunkest I can possibly be.
See, that's
And
kind
that's
of
abuse.
that's kind of that's kind of the opposite to me, which kind of shows how you know there are different people that react to different things. Like for me, like, I go off, and after 2 or 3 pints, I'm done. Like, I not. It's not that I'm get absolutely hammered or anything. I don't really. I only go out for the social aspect. I don't go out for actually getting drunk. Getting drunk has no interest to me. I've never been at a place where I've actually wanted to get drunk, or
Oh,
I
I've been
like
there and I do that.
I've
I
gotten to
still
a
do that.
place where I wanted to go and have a fun night and have a few drinks and all that sort of stuff. There are times when I have gone off and made the mistake of getting drunk, but and and in the morning you're going like, oh my head, all that sort of stuff. But
Story of my
you
life.
know that that's it's I've never done it to the extent of where I'm trying to hide away from my issues. Like I've never taken like everyone has their own vices on how to relax and how to do stuff. Like I have my own ways. Some people might say it is bad. Like gaming, for example, and streaming and stuff. That's how I deal with it. Some people might say I have a problem because I game a lot. I play a lot of video games, and if you do anything in excess, it does become a problem. Even playing video
It
games,
can become a
it's fun
problem.
and stuff. It can
Yeah.
become a problem. So that's why you also need to be careful. It's why anybody who does streaming or any of that sort of stuff, if you're doing big long streams every day of the week, you have to make sure you take consistent breaks throughout your streams so that you walk around, stretch your back, stretch your fingers, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for me, it's not. I can't really control it. So it's not like
Yeah,
that
I
I'm doing it on purpose. It's just how I work.
mm,
You see.
everybody I feel works in
Um.
their own ways. It's nines.
Yeah. So yeah. Next one. Yeah. Let's skip the suicidal things. Okay. That's that's bad enough as it is. I don't really want to go into
Yeah,
details.
but
Yeah.
it's kind of important. You can go into it at some point,
Okay.
but
Okay.
it
I
is
can
kind of
talk about
important.
it. Let's talk about it then. So whenever I got to a point where, which is quite often, where I feel that nothing could be darker, which is almost all the time when I feel down. Okay, one very important thing about borderline, it's like the most important thing besides the list of criteria, it's how our emotions are working. Okay, nines. Um, like for example, like any people would be upset if, I don't know, you left your keys at home, for example. Okay, very simple example. Like you get, I don't know, upset on a certain level. Let's call it 100%. Okay, what normal people feel in a scenario like that. I have a panic attack. I have a mental breakdown, and like multiply those your emotions by like 200 or 300, and that's what I feel. And it's true in every situations. Like when I'm happy, my happiness is more intense than the general populations. It's like everything I feel is more intense, and that's kind of one of the characteristic of a borderline person. Like our emotions are way 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 more intense than the general population. So when I'm sad, and I'm not sad, I'm depressed. I'm like a people who has clinical depression. When you're nervous, I'm not nervous. I'm anxious, and I have panic attacks and whatever. Ben, there is no reason to this. This
Like
is the point of it. Like the emotions are out of my control. I can't, even if I can explain them logically that it's unnecessary to have those emotions. I can't change them.
for me,
So
sorry, you finish your thought.
go on,
No,
go on,
finish your
go on, go
thought.
on. Uh, I don't know. I forgot.
Sorry.
Like no, no, no. Got it. Sorry.
Okay, finish your thought.
So there are like certain therapies which I would like to really try, where they teach you how to manage to get back to reality and how to control your emotions uh, based on thinking, which I can't do now because I never learned how to do it. My only way to cope is hurting myself anyway I can. So yeah, basically that's why my goal is to get him to therapy.
Like
Go on, demon.
what you were going back there to what you were saying about like losing your keys or something. Like um for like next week or whenever we organize the next episode, this I'll be talking about autism and Asperger's and all that sort of stuff and dyslexia and stuff because that's what I have. But when it comes to me losing stuff, like my keys or even my glasses, like Fred can even tell you what I'm like when I lose my glasses. I'm literally because I think that I put them down in a particular place, and I go and look there, and it's not there, and I'm like, where did I put them? What would have ended up happening was I would have put it on a different thing because I was moving stuff around, wasn't thinking, and just threw them up there. In my head, I was thinking, oh, I'll get them in a second, but I completely forgot about them in a second later. I'll be running all over the house, turfing cushions around, looking for them, panicking, and I would like be crying and everything. You know, my parents, my Anita would be all you know, shout, you know, like telling me to calm down, just relax. Where are they? They go through it, stuff. And even at those situations, like Anita's very calm in those situations, which is sort of what we can all say. Where we're all very calm
When
in
it comes to someone
when
else.
it comes to somebody else. We can all look at it from the other point of view. But when we need the most important time we should be doing that is for ourselves, but it's impossible for us to do it. We just instantly jump in and don't think about it at all. It's Nines. We all love you for you either way. We're all here for each other, and every time I'm here, you always warm my heart and cheer me up. Even when I'm in worse moods, you're always helpful to me to cheer up. And I just want to
Thank
say
you,
thank you
Nines.
for everything, Frag. Oh, that's really nice, Nines.
Yeah, like this is one other thing I can actually talk about right now, that a lot of times helping others helps me. So that's why I try to be there for everyone else and make sure they are okay, because actually making others happy is something I can, like, if it happens and if I succeed, it just gives me something positive back. So it helps me
Not
helps me calm down as well.
not just
I
that.
know everyone works like that kind of. It helps everyone to help other. Well, not everyone, but
It's
like a lot of us.
it's also a situation where when you help somebody else with their issue, sometimes you can transfer, even if it's not the exact same issue, even if it's something
Yeah,
completely
yeah. You can
different on
apply to
paper,
your
but you can
stuff
in
as
some way
well.
apply it. It's similar to a lot of people growing up when you were kids and stuff. A lot of people would have enjoyed hearing these dark fairy tales and all this sort of stuff. Um, the reason a lot of children enjoy these dark fairy tales and actually don't actually get scared of the fairy tales themselves is because they're able to, like the Wicked Witch or something like that, they're able to use that idea. Like the Wicked Witch could be their own issue, and the hero of the story, the prince, the princess, or whoever it is, it always ends up defeating the witch, and um, that's why children enjoy them so much because they're able to not exactly they're not going to go off and kill whatever issue they're having. They never have those sort of thoughts, but they do have the sort of thought of going, I can defeat this because I'm strong, and they look up. That's why they look up to these princes and princesses and all these other characters in these like Disney movies and stuff, because they're able to see themselves as them, and they're the people that kids are looking up to, so that the kids can end up evolving. And we do that as adults as well, where we see all of our that's what we do when we help other people, at least for me anyway. When I go off and I help other people, I always end up going, hang on a minute, I can do that for myself, I can help there. Obviously there are some times when I look at it and don't think. It's Nines, thank you for the follow and welcome to the Legion. uh you welcome, keep everything up, don't stop being yourself, and if you don't have anyone, I'm always here for you. See, everybody loves you, Frag. Reasons I ask,
And
because many times
answering
emotions based on triggers
for
might.
Ben, yeah, my emotions are not really like that. I mean, there are triggers, of course, there are triggers, but
You're
it's
saying
mostly
bathing and destroys evil? What?
Petro. Yeah, let's just not answer him this time. For Ben, I don't really have triggers. I mean, I have a couple of them, but it's just not like that. Emotions for me can come out of nowhere. Like I can just sit here, nothing happening, and I just go from normal to sad, because in my head stuff are happening which I can't really control. Ohio,
How
thank
are
you
you
for the
doing,
host.
Ohio?
So I don't know. It's just for me, is these emotions
Ah,
are
I'm stepping away. Sorry.
absolutely, absolutely out of my control. Completely. I can't control anything. They come and go as they want.
I do well, Ohio, thanks. But like you not being able to control everything, like everyone, you see what you said earlier that there are times when your emotions are multiplied by 300 times or any of that sort of stuff. But what I think a lot of the time with these people that have these sort of emotional problems going on, that they have something that affects their emotions and stuff, I feel that for me anyway, I don't feel that other people don't feel the same emotions or even to the same extent. I believe that a lot of people that a lot of people feel those emotions, but there are people out there that are able to take it, sort of calm down a little bit more than and stop themselves from getting to that level. Whereas with people with these like borderline personality disorder or any of that sort of stuff, that your emotions sort of just amplify, but you can't seem to calm down. You can't seem to drag yourself back down. And that seems to be the difference. Not that people don't reach that high, but the fact that you're not able to balance it
Well,
out at
Evan,
all.
I think that I I still think that like people with borderline have in more intense emotions. It's like a fact. I don't really want to argue on this one, but like for example, like he said that made me really really I kind of want to cry right now, because it makes me feel that he doesn't believe me. And normal people would just go past this comment because he obviously didn't mean any harm by that, but I'm hurt right now.
Jesus, nymph.
So it's like,
What a bad joke.
okay, can we stop the jokes, please? Thanks. So I don't even know what I was talking about.
Well, what's the next topic?
Emotional instability, reaction to day-to-day events, like intense episodic sadness. I don't know how to pronounce eerie, is
You zoom in because I
hability,
can't really hear it, see it.
uh,
In a
or
pro.
anxiety, usually lasting for a few hours and only rarely more than a few days. So yeah, instability, we covered that. It can change in any minute. Like 5 minutes ago, I was kind of excited to talk about this topic. Now I just want to shut the whole thing down. Uh, and the thing with these fucking emotions, they don't really go away ever. Like they last longer than they should be. And if even if it's something small or stupid, I just get so upset on everything, and I don't know how to, like, why. I don't think this is normal. I don't think people work like that, and I
Well,
don't want to be like that. I really don't want to be like that because I hate it. And by the way, I'm really sorry, but I'm gonna smoke on camera
it's 18
during
plus,
this
so do what you
show,
want.
because I kind of need to, and I don't have any layouts for without camera.
Well, I personally, you could easily just click the icon next to the eye icon next to the lock,
But
and
I
it will
already
hide
up
it.
the yellow background behind it, so it's whatever.
Okay, okay. Well, it'll just hide the camera, wouldn't hide everything else. Everything else will still be there. But anyway, look, I think this is actually a good thing that um you're obviously it's not a good thing that you're upset. I'm saying that it's kind of a good thing to show people um like you're giving like with this happening, you're actually giving an actual experience of what actually happens, so people can actually see the simplest things that can set this sort of thing off. That
Yeah, I guess.
people can see it, so that's actually good for this. So the whole idea around this web show and all that sort of stuff was, and this
I
episode
know.
was
It's
to
just
try and get people to understand. They
usually when I stream, when I get in, I usually not usually, but there are times when I get into this mode during the stream. Whatever we play doesn't really matter. And what I do is just turn off my camera and I don't talk for a while. And you can think it's because I'm smoking, because when I'm talking I'm always turning the camera off. But sometimes when my camera is off for a longer period of time, it's because I'm in
hey
sort
County.
of a high county, sort of a sad mood like this, when I don't want people to hear that I'm close to crying or whatever. So I just stop talking and let the others speak. And then when I'm calmed down, I just put the camera back on and we can continue.
Well,
So it happens a lot.
I think the way you deal with that I've experienced, the way you deal with the stuff going on, is just you're a very strong person, because uh, I've known you like what, 7 months, 8 months. Jeez, when did I meet
Around
you?
that, yeah.
7 months ago. Met you in June,
July, I think. June.
end of June. Well, we go about 7 months anyway. Um, like in that time, I've seen you have your lowest level, and your highest.
And that lowest wasn't the lowest during my life. Because we're gonna get there soon.
We're gonna
So
get
I
to
wanna
your
talk about
lowest.
that too.
Okay. I, I,
No, no,
I
no, I
thought
just
I thought
want to
you meant
talk
that you're
about
actually going to
no, no,
get low. I was going like,
no,
Jesus.
I'm gonna get into therapy and I'm gonna get better because I don't because today I was reading back my old diaries before the anorexia, and I'm on the same track right now, and I realized that, and I really 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 don't want to go back there, so I'm gonna talk about it, and then when I get the money and I will be able to actually go into therapy, I will, because I don't think I can do this alone again, because that time I did, and I can't. I don't think I would be able to do this again alone.
Well, guys, if me and Frag have both set up a Patreon, separate Patreons, but at the moment, all the money that we're getting so far, both of us, is going towards Frag and her
Therapy.
therapy. So with the Patreon, basically everyone gets different perks and stuff. We're still sort of working on perks and if we need to add more tiers and all that sort of stuff. But we're also in talks and just spitting out stuff when it comes to merch and all that sort of stuff. So at the moment, this is all we have, but this is what the money is going towards. So
Yeah, because here in Hungary, like I know a lot of countries, healthcare like that is free. For us, it's not. I mean, it could be if I can wait for like 3 months to get into one session and then wait 2 other months to get into the second one, which won't help me. Like I know that won't help me. That's just not frequent enough. So I think, and to go to a private therapist, it costs a shitload, guys. I'm not kidding. It would take my half of my salary, and I just don't have the money for that. So that's why I'm not in therapy yet.
like
Anyway, so yeah,
even
on Patreon, the goal is just for me at least, and yeah, Demon is helping out as well. Is just for therapy, nothing else.
like
No
there,
stream improvement, no capture card. Fuck the capture card. I don't care about the capture card.
that's all that
Like
the money is
my
going towards right
mental
now
health is, yeah, it's more. It's I think it's more important than
for
a
both of
fucking
our
capture card and a
Patreons.
better stream.
Like
Uh,
you can and the like we discussed the different tiers and we're sort of like making them very similar because obviously as people don't know we already share a Discord and we just feel that if we kept them similar that it would limit the whole these are mine, these are yours sort of thing. It's sort of all linked together. Also like we've worked it so that there's tiers as low as like $1, and there's tier at the moment there's only 3 tiers from $1 to $5 to $10.
Okay, but
So
anyway,
like
this stream is not about raising money.
yeah,
So let's just cut it. If Patreon is there, you can click the links, you can read the stuff on there. Let's move from Patreon and
Okay.
whatnot, because it's not really important right now. Let's finish this list quickly because it's okay to try 3 more times. Yeah, I know, all of us. Okay, last few points here. Chronic feeling of emptiness. That's for me, it's just like, staring at the wall for hours and not feeling anything at all. Nothing at all. It happens after breakdown. When the breakdown wore off, that's what left. The emptiness part. When I just literally just stare at the wall, thinking of nothing and feeling nothing, and I can't really snap out of it. But then yeah, I know everyone can say, oh yeah, I know what this feels like. Of course you know what this feels like, because everyone has it. But for borderline, it means, for me, it's more intense. It only means that for me, all of these emotions everyone are having, I know. And you can say that, yeah, I know what you're talking about, but you don't know, because for me this is more intense than for a lot of you. Not all of you, obviously. There are people, obviously, who has issues with emotions.
hey Ash.
Hey Ash. So for me, it's just more intense. That's it. Okay, next point is interesting. Inappropriate intense anger or difficulty controlling anger. Demon could talk about this. Okay, he has to say one word and I'm lashing out, calling him names, want to break up with him on the spot, tell him to forget everything, I hate him, what else?
Just a typical day in our
you.
relationship.
Yeah, exactly. It's a typical day in our relationship. He has to take all this shit because of literally nothing, because a smallest thing can trigger it, and I just become so angry that what I want to do is fucking destroy everything, break everything, and because it's not my property, I can't do that, which makes me even more frustrated. And the only solution I have is to harm myself, okay, to cut again, which I don't do, obviously, but still, that's the way how I learn to cope with this, and I really need to change that, and I can't change it alone. I don't know how to change these behaviors, so that's why I need the therapy.
Like,
because I
sorry, keep going.
No, you go.
No, you keep going with your sentence.
But I don't know.
Well, like for me, like she would say that, like now when I look back at all this stuff, it's like, oh, she's kind of cute when she gets angry, but during the events, it's
It's not
just
really
like
cute.
uh, it's just a bit scary. Sometimes it's a bit scary, but I've kind of gotten used to. Hey, or Podfather.
Thank you for the host.
Like we just sort of gotten used to where I sort of I understand that a lot of the stuff that she says she doesn't mean, and all that sort of stuff, and I just try I don't help the situation because I start getting a bit emotional and start getting annoyed as well and all that sort of stuff. But
that just intenses and amplifies my emotions.
yeah, so because I'm getting a
Even
bit
more so.
emotional, it's and after a while, the both of us calming down, we're both good, we're both happy, we're both telling each other we love each other and all that sort of stuff. I mean, it's not the best way to have stuff, but I know that no matter how angry she is and all that sort of stuff, that she's not saying the stuff because she actually wants to break up with me or any of that sort of stuff. It's just,
and I'm really thankful for that, because I do that a lot.
yeah, but I'm not gonna leave her for any of the sort of reasons.
Don't. You can't.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
not
not.
allowed
I'm
to
not
leave.
allowed to leave.
I have a
So
fear of abandonment, so you can't leave.
yeah. So this is once you get into a relationship with somebody like this, you can't leave regardless of how much you try. So
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
if anybody has to experience what we have, like having a long distance relationship and stuff isn't easy at all. And anyone who has ever had a long distance relationship will know it's not easy, and it's even harder with all these different problems going on. Like when we're together in person, we have none of these
We
issues.
never had
We
a
never
single
have
argument ever.
argument or
There
any of
was
that sort of
nothing.
stuff because a lot of the frustration that we have is because of the fact we can't be together, when we're upset. So like we're not only upset because a certain thing happened, but we're also upset because of the fact that the person that we want the most to comfort us isn't able to comfort us. And
Like,
then
sometimes a hug would be enough, but there is no one to hug you. There's literally no one to hug you. I live alone. I don't have anyone here. I can hug my blankets and
your
whatnot, but
ferret.
that's not gonna help. Oh my god, no. She bites. She's a meanie. I don't like her.
Yeah, we'll get you a Japanese love pillow.
I need a pillow, yeah. Okay, so
That's
yeah,
next
for
donation
yeah,
goal.
and that's the a pillow, yeah. So intense anger is intense anger. Okay, it is really intense. It's like, thank you for the follow. Ooh, nice.
Follow us for
That
Frag.
see that made me happy.
Guys, can we get Hertz in the chat for Frag? Please, just break the chat.
And
She
and the
need.
shout outs for further, please. Thank you. Okay, so intense anger is covered. Difficulty controlling anger is like.
There we go. There we
Thank
go.
you, Ash.
G-
So difficulty controlling anger, it's like difficulty controlling any emotions I have. I can't do that. It's like, uh, I can give you an example. And I used to work at my old company. I'm used to getting emails from my boss that I should return a virtual machine, which I didn't have. And we had these emails going over for weeks when I tried to explain I don't have that virtual machine. And he was like, okay, but I need you to check and check again and check again and check again. And after a few weeks, we solved it. He realized I didn't have the machine, so he left it. And then a couple of days went past, and then he wrote me an email again about the same virtual machine that I should return it. And I'm not kidding, guys. I was in a room with full of people coding, and I just stood up, hit my keyboard, started to cry, and yell at the computer, like the ugliest words I could say, ran out, went down to smoke, and I didn't come back for like 2 hours because of an email, okay? Because of one single email. This is how it works. This is how I can't control anger.
Well, that to be
I
perfectly honest,
shout,
that
I
just sounds
yell,
like that was a
I
build-up. It
cry.
wasn't one email.
Well, but it was stupid. Like,
I,
who
I know.
reacts like this to an email?
No, like I wouldn't blame anyone for getting really pissed off for that type of a situation where you dealt with the
In a
situation.
workplace,
In
that yes, you would. It's
I've
not
seen people.
appropriate.
It's not appropriate, but I've seen people that don't have anything to do with BPD or any sort of issues
Evan,
whatsoever,
I
and they just go off and they
still
get
feel
angry.
like you're trying to belittle everything I say.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that what you did wasn't a. That's not me belittling it. It's me saying that what you did was okay. It wasn't a bad thing.
It's not okay. It's not okay to start yelling and crying just because of an email. It's really not okay. Not on this level. When your reaction is, okay, if this happens again, I'm gonna fucking kill myself because I can't take this anymore. That's not an appropriate reaction. That's not something, it's okay. Okay, that's the intensity of the anger I'm having. When I can't deal with it, I can't cope, I just wanna cut. I wanna
Okay.
harm myself. It's like, it's not that I'm like, okay, I need time to chill. I didn't run out to time, to just cool down. I went out because I didn't know what to do, because the only thing I could think of is hurting myself somehow. And I really just wanted
Damn
to
right,
get
country
off
evening.
of the fucking planet and just die. Okay? That's the inappropriate anger. And difficulty controlling emotions. It doesn't work like that. How it works with normal people. Normal people don't do this. Okay, for an email, their reaction is not like I wanna kill myself.
But
And I know
that wasn't my
this might
point.
sound. I know this might sound like I'm just talking about it. Yeah, I can say whatever I can say. It's just, I know it's not going through because a lot of you never felt these intensity of emotions ever. Like I used to go to therapy. Yeah, I had a really bad therapist that I went for like a couple of sessions, and he told me that what I feel is normal. And I was like, dude, you have no clue what I feel. You don't know the intensity of what I feel. When an emotion makes me unable to function as a human being, when you can't eat and you can't sleep and you can't get up and you can't cook and can't fucking clean your house and you're just laying in bed crying and all you can think is of fucking dying, that's not a normal reaction. That's not okay. I don't want to live like that and I can't live like that.
So your definition of normal is something that's okay.
What?
You just said that it's not normal, it's not okay. So is your definition of normal one that's
I don't have a
an
definition of normal. Normal means how the general population feels or having their emotions handled.
but
That's the normal, okay?
what's normal for dealing with your emotion?
For me, cutting,
Not for you,
cutting
for
myself.
the general public.
I don't know. You calm yourself down somehow, and just your first thought is not wanting to die,
Okay,
probably.
everyone in the chat, can anyone put up their hand if they've ever gotten so pissed off that they've not exactly gone off to say I want to die or any of that sort of stuff, but gotten so pissed off that they broke something or ran out of a building or went away for a good couple of hours. See, even Grenadier Bot agrees. But only Ash? Only Ash has ever broken something? Jeez, you're all goody goody two shoes. All of you. Look, I'm going to even put up my
Demon, I
hand.
don't like this. Trying
Okay.
to convince me that what I'm feeling is like what everyone else feels. How do you know?
I'm not saying it's the same.
Try to have my emotions and hormones and whatever for one day and see how you survive.
I'm not saying that you don't go through tough stuff. I'm saying that you're not alone. Everybody goes through tough stuff. It doesn't matter if it's the same thing or not.
Yeah, but my fucking emotions and reactions are not like that. Don't you understand that? This is what I was really afraid of, that you're just gonna go off and tell them that, oh, Frank, what you do is normal, what you feel is normal. It's not.
Okay.
Don't you see it's not?
Okay, it's not. Okay,
Like,
I'm
why am I
sorry.
doing this even if the conclusion is gonna be, oh, she was just having a bad day.
It's not. You weren't just having a bad day.
Of course, everyone wants to break stuff, but like, okay, this whole thing. Okay, let's just skip to the thing where it led to last time. Okay, when I was around the same level as I am now. Picture time for you guys. Okay, let's go. Let's leave the disturbing stuff. Let's see how it started. Okay. This is how I looked in 2013. It's April. Okay. Those you can see cuts on my thigh. Yes. Still April. Next month. Few days later. Few days later. 1 month later. End of that month. I think this was my lowest. Okay? This is where it led me. I wasn't eating at all. And then I'm gonna continue with the other stuff later on because I have more of this. But before we go there, I had goals set up goals you can see on here. Okay, probably you won't really be able to read it because the chat is covering it up. So I'm just
You
going
can
to make it
move it a little
smaller.
bit.
And yeah.
Yeah, move it there.
Okay, the last one is the important part. This was my body weight in kilograms. Okay, so it started in 2nd of April. Okay, I was 50 kilograms, and this is how my body weight went down. This was almost a whole month. I lost like 3 kilos, which is not a big deal. This column here is the days I was drinking, and the numbers are the shot of vodka I was taking. So it's like 4, then 6, then none, then 7 shots, then 4 shots again, 4 shots again, 7 shots, 5 shots, 5 shots, 5, 4, none, 3 shots, 3 shots, none, 5 shots, none, then a question mark. I don't even know what that means. Probably that I was out completely the whole day because I was taking some medication as well, which combined with vodka was really nice. I had nice hallucinations and everything, and I don't even remember people visiting me at home, and I was talking to them because I read it in my diary because I wrote it down, but I have no memories of that. So whatever that means. Then 3 shots, 2 shots again. So I was drinking literally every day, and not just a small amount. So this was April, and was it part of the therapy? I wasn't in therapy. I went in for like 4 sessions, and when my therapist said that it is normal, I was like, "Fuck you, you bitch." And he said if my body weight's gonna drop lower, which was my aim at the time, he's gonna put me in hospital. And I was like, all right, I'm not gonna go back. I don't want to go in hospital, so I just left. I'm making the journal. No. I was doing diaries since I was little. I stopped though, but I was doing them regularly. So this is that month. Next month, this is almost a full month again. From 47, I went down to 43. I stopped drinking though. I started exercising to help me with the weight loss, and I started throwing up after eating. So I would have the weight loss. So this column here is with the numbers is like how many times I ate a day, and the star next to that means that I was throwing up. So, and then I switched to writing calories down like 150, 700, 300, 350. This is for the whole day, guys. 350, 800, 350, 2000, but I was throwing up. 700, I was throwing up. 700, I was throwing up. 100, 193, that I kept in. 2200, I was throwing it up. 900, and so whatnot. Like this is how it went. I had this goal list here when I actually wanted to go under 40 kilos, which this is the BMI. It's body mass index, and I think if it's below, I don't know what's the normal limit for it, like around 20, if I can remember. I don't know. Someone could check what's the regular body BMI for. I don't know. It should be around 20. Anyway, my aim was going lower than that, and I kind of did. So I reached this goal, the 4th one, but I never put the date in it. And actually, I reached the 5th one too, because my lowest was 42.8, 42.8. And that was the day I realized I don't want to actually die from anorexia. So I started exercising. It is scary. It is scary. You should read my other stuff, Nymph. I'm not kidding. It's awful. I read it today, and I was like, oh my fucking God. And I realized that I'm on the same road, so that's why it's a really good idea to do this show, because I don't want to go back there. Okay, back to from the journal bag. So I started training because I try to get better. Okay, we have this, and where were we? We were here. That was the last one. This is where I was the smallest. This is where I was 42.8. And then I started training, like the first sessions, and I was really, really skinny, and I could barely move. Like, look at my thighs compared to the others. Like, I was a freaking skeleton. That was my ass. I didn't have an ass. Seriously, like, I didn't have anything. I was literally bones and skin,
I'm not
and I
laughing
was,
at the picture. I'm laughing at just the way she reacted to it. Oh, and there's my ass. Look, I got no ass.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. This is like a couple of months. Hold on. This was in 6 months, 2 months later. I kind of started to look like a girl or a human being. Okay, another 3 months later. This was between the two, I think. This was actually no, no, no. This was a year later. Uh, yeah, because this one I took in a training camp in Croatia, and this one was the next year, same camp. This was my first Spartan race with my brother, and then I just gained more and more. And see, I have an S on this one now, and we're still at 2014, by the way. And the scale started to go up, and I was like 59. My body weight before the anorexia and whatever was around 52. That was my normal weight. I could keep that. That was my normal weight. So when I reached this one, I was like, oh my God, I'm huge. I'm huge. I'm really huge. And my mom went like, oh my God, please don't go over 55. You're going to be fat, she said. Because she had no fucking idea of anything. She had no idea of training or whatever. I'm sorry, I'm missing the comments, by the way. But if I don't respond, and if you have questions, just keep tagging me and then just spam it away. So this is still 2014. And then I have these, like, yeah, you can see it like this. This was 14 February, it was 54, yeah, 54.5. Next month, 55.8. Next month, 57.7. And then probably a month later, it was my 58. Oh, my parents. Okay, let's just go through this real quick. This is 2015 February. Shut up and squat, lift. Yeah, that was my year of lifting and training my ass off. Mid of 2015, end of 2015, 2016 March, end of 2016, and yeah, end of 2016. It's like body weight is up to 66.6.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the name.
What name?
The guy that just followed.
Go to follow. Lovely, lovely name. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. It's really appropriate here right now. Okay, so I think this is the last one I put it in here. You know, I have this one where I actually look happy. This is 2017 February. And this is after my competition in 2017 June with my friend. Thank you for the host. Yeah, end of 2017. So I think you can see like the progress from actually this to this one, but it took me like 3 or 4 years to get there. So I made it, and I did it alone. Oh, I have the before after picture, so I'm gonna quickly show you guys. Yeah, like just in comparison to see like how.
It's like a year and a half later.
Yeah, but this was like 3 years, 3.5. Well, yeah. This is the same shorts or trousers or whatever, which was once like I could put them on and I couldn't even get through it halfway. People love this picture because they told me a lot of times I look younger on the second one, which was 4 years later.
You do look younger.
Yeah, okay. A bit of a nice S progression for you guys. Enjoy. Sorry.
Sure.
Yeah, this was 1 year progression as well. Yeah, another picture. Oh, and this is what I was talking about. This was the day I decided I will never ever cut again. So on the half finished part, you can see the cuts if you look, and I covered them up with a nice tattoo saying "You earn your body." And I never ever cut since then. That was the last time. Those were the last times when I did it. Before that, and never after that. Yeah, yeah. This is another one here, and there you go. So back to Ben's question: how my parents took it. Like I told you already that I started to cut when I was 8, and somehow they never noticed, which I can't really believe because obviously I had like bandages and everything covering up my arm, and I kept like broken glasses. I started to cut with broken glasses, and then I switched to blades. Then I switched to other blades, but like I still have one, which I'm just unable to throw away. It's still there somewhere. Obviously, I won't use it, but I just need it. It helps me calm down that, I still have it in case if I need it. I know I'm never gonna need it again, but I just can't get rid of it. So back to my parents. They never, somehow they never noticed. Probably I would say it's because it was too painful for them to see the thing, so they were just rather turning away, is what I think. Uh, about my anorexia, though, nobody blinked an eye. They just watched it. I tried to talk to them. I went to my mom and I told her, I think I have anorexia, mom, please help me. And she said, I think you have a digestive disease, so you should get a doctor for that. And I tried to talk to him and telling him that, mom, I can't eat. I'm not eating. I stopped eating. And she didn't believe it. And I tried to talk to my friends, my best friends. I told them everything. I reached out, and you know what their answer was? Just eat. This is what they said, just eat. And I was like, that was my problem. I didn't want to eat. I couldn't, because how anorexia and eating disorders relates to borderline is because a borderline person, how I said it, it's out of control considering emotions. It's like everything you have is just going past you and you're not in control. But for example, anorexia is taking control. It's taking control. The only thing you actually can, food, and you just restrict it because that's the only thing you can do with it. So it's about control. And the only thing I did that was to actually be able to be in control in something. And for me, that was food. And I know I looked ugly and I looked skinny. I don't think, I never thought for a second that it was good or it was pretty or sexy or whatever. I just thought that it comes with, not eating, and, it's okay to have it. But the goal with not eating was to actually be in control in at least something. So I get the question, why don't you go to your family for help? Because they are not able to help me for some reason. Like they just they just they just rather turn away. I don't think they want to see their child being hurt, and I think they are doing it wrong, but I think they are trying to protect themselves instead, of helping me. I think that's why.
That's actually a good
My
question, Ben.
mind, like everything, like it starts. It's like I can't list out stuff right now, but it's like it starts up small with small things like, oh, he hurt me. Okay, I'm hurt. Okay, but what if I'm gonna get more hurt because I know how I usually react, and then anxiety kicks in, and then uh, I'm starting to panic, and with the panic comes more guilt and shame, and the whole thing is just builds up and amplifies itself without me actually doing anything. So all of my worst fears about being left and hated by others, and blaming myself for everything, thinking that I'm a disgusting person. And because I'm having the breakdown, I think I'm selfish because I shouldn't have those emotions. I'm just blaming myself for everything. And then for example, when it happens, when I'm like, when we're on the phone with Demon, because it happened a couple of times, I also have uh, the that I hurt him as well with this. So more shame and guilt comes in, and I'm actually, just I just can't. The whole thing, it just amplifies itself to the point where I'm unable to speak, and I can't. Like, can you describe it, Demon? How was it like 2 days ago
She,
when I was just crying?
like, they've not just, it was horrible. It was just
Yeah,
like,
but like, I don't
what?
know
How
what happened
describe it?
there.
How I felt, or describe how
Yeah,
what it was like? I just felt like she just there was no getting through to her. That like literally, it was just like she was after going down a dark path that she had to drag herself out of. But I couldn't really help, and I felt so helpless because of it, and that made me feel even worse. And he just didn't know what to do because nothing I was doing was actually helping.
and I don't think anyone could help in that case. I'm literally I'm unable to get anything in. Like, I know he was trying to calm me down, but it he couldn't break the wall. I could use a Minecraft reference here, trying to mine for obsidian without
Diggy diggy
actual
hole.
pickaxe.
It's a
Yeah.
Minecraft Yogscast reference.
Okay, so it's just there's no stopping. I don't know how to get out of these cycles. And there are behavior therapies which can help, which can teach you how to do that. And I really need a therapist to help me teach me that, because I don't know how to do it. And I try to read up on everything, how these therapies work, but obviously they're not going to discuss the details there, because that's what they're here for. That's why you have to pay them to teach you the stuff. All I could read is just, oh my god, what was
That was my.
Demon?
There's a match going on. My brother and my dad are watching a match. Sorry.
That is happy.
Yeah.
I think that was the goal there. All right. So yeah, I think I think I would be better off with if a therapist could actually teach me how to stop these spirals, because it's like a downward spiral where I can't just stop. I can't get out of it, and I need to stop somehow before it gets worse. And behavior therapy is about that. It's about how to stop these from happening. So was there anything? Oh, hold on, I have another list here. See if I missed something.
Sorry, I'm just googling something there now.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Oh, yeah. So after anorexia, the recovery came with bulimia. I don't know if you guys know what bulimia is. It's basically binge eating and then purging in any way. Usually, it's self-induced vomiting or excess or great amount of. Thank you for that follow back of information. Or like
Whoa.
excessive amount of exercising or whatever, just to burn down those calories which you ate. Binge eating means, like, at least there are rules for this, okay, to call that a binge eating disorder, and there are rules for anorexia. And by the way, I actually never met the criteria for anorexia, because for women it means you have to miss at least 3 periods to be able to get a label that you have anorexia. But because I was on the pill,
Um, guys, can you hear me? Hello? Okay. Okay, so mine's up.
okay, I should be back in the party. I don't
Yeah.
know what's up with the stream. They said it died.
Yeah, your stream went down.
Did it?
Okay, both seem fine now. Okay, that's good. Thank you, guys.
Hold on, am I back off? Oh, off on? Okay, it
I
seems
think we're
good.
both on. They're saying that we're
I
both
don't
on.
know. Something is going on with OBS, but it seems to be working. I just have to look at chat somewhere else. I don't know the time. I'm angry about
Sorry
my
about
back. I'm angry about not working. I'm angry that I have to do things I'm normally do before my injury. Yeah, Ash, that can be, something you need to get help for. Like, I'm not saying everyone is normal besides me, obviously. Like, there are certain mental disorders, like anger management issues and whatever. I don't know all of them, but if it's what's the word? Makes you unable to live your life fully, then maybe you should seek help too. Makes you unable to function is the phrase I was looking for.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, so about bulimia, few quick thoughts, because that was the hardest part. When I started to eat again and train, I realized that food is good and delicious, and I started binge eating, which means for the rules for binge eating is you have to eat at least like 2,000-3,000 of calories in one sitting, which I did. I went into the shops with the intention of buying the most soft cakes and whatever's, which would be easy to throw up, because like eating pizza or whatever and throwing that up, it's really hard. Like you can suffocate, and eating crisps or chips or whatever, that also can hurt your throat when you're throwing it up. So I went for soft things like cakes with creams and whatever. And I made sure I drank enough water after, so it would be easier to throw it up. And I did that for 1.5 years. during I was already training by the time, and but it seemed okay to do this. It seemed okay because I was making sure that I ate enough protein, and then I ate enough nutritional food, but I also wanted the junk food. So what I did was I went for the junk, I ate them all in one sitting, and then I made myself throw up. And those calories weren't counting, and I could still progress. I could still gain weight, and it was all good. And there are these sites called ProAna or ProMia site, when mostly girls, they give you tips and tricks how to make it easier to throw up, what to do, what to not do, how to how to distract yourself from eating, how to make yourself throw up easier. Like you should never use a toothbrush to make yourself throw up. Use your fingers if you can. What to take after it, so you preserve the health of your teeth, because the acids from your stomach can destroy your teeth as well. And I read them all, and I made sure that I was doing it right, like big air quotes there, because it's not right. It's never right to do that. And I did that for almost every day for 1.5 years. And then I don't know how it stopped, but it just got less and less frequent, and then it just went away. And then I thought everything's gonna be fine, but it's not. It's still not.
I've never been
Those
on
sites
them,
are
but
really
what you're
well.
describing sounds scary.
It is. Those sites should be fucking removed from the internet, because they are advertising anorexia and bulimia, and making sure that you just, they are like cults or whatever. It's just a group of girls trying to get incredibly skinny, or trying to teach each other how to throw up. And like there was this thing, like you go and clean instead of eating, uh, suck on ice cubes instead of eating. What else was there? I don't really remember, but there were like hundreds of
Smoke.
tips there. Yeah, but well, I don't smoke because of that. But
No,
yeah,
yeah, but that's
that
one of the things that people do.
smoking also helps. Yeah, avoiding eating. Yeah, these are harmful sides. I mean, on the other hand, though, with bulimia, well, my teeth are kind of healthy thanks to those sides. So coffee with salt, that would make me throw up. That's for sure. So yeah, those sites are not really nice. But also they helped me with the bulimia part. When I was making myself throw up, it helped a lot. How not to harm myself that way. Like I was still doing it because I thought it's okay, but I made sure that I was kind of safe-ish, as safe as I could be.
Safe as you can be while making yourself throw up. Somehow I don't
Yeah.
think safe and that sort of goes together.
Well, yeah, I agree, but still, it's like I was trying to do the best I could.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah, because
different.
that's different. That's
They
not
don't
because
do it
they
on a regular
wanted to
basis.
look like pretty, which is, having a tight gap because you're so skinny that your thighs are not touching or whatever. It's
What's a
just
thigh
stupid.
gap?
Thigh gap is, I'm gonna show you pictures about that. Are you on stream?
Yeah.
Hold on.
What the fuck? Okay, this is all new to me now. Sorry, I mean, I'm just asking questions that I'm a bit confused about.
Hold on.
I
If you're
didn't
on
know that.
stream, this one.
How is that attractive?
The first one. They are aiming for this one, the first one.
That's
That's
not
what they want.
attractive.
Of course, it's not attractive,
Is that why
but
they
that's
want
what
it?
I don't know why they want it, but this is what their aim is. The first one. So they are advertising the stuff you should do to be like this, To be skinny, you don't. It goes for skinny. I don't know if I can see a scary picture of it again. Oh, look, nice ass.
No, we're just looking at
So
asses.
if you look for pro Anna, there's gonna be motivational
Hey, Pepster.
quotes. Hey, Peps. Motivational quotes like what to do, how to burn calories, like what is this picture? Seriously, starve, Anna said, so she did. Like, these girls are promoting this. They want to have this and they want to spread this. She's on a pro Anna side. Like, of course she's a bad influence. You shouldn't want to look like this anymore. Like, it's not pretty, and it never was. Look at these girls. How is she pretty? How is she thinks she's pretty?
Is
And
this
they
what
are
you were?
proud of themselves.
Is this what you were
What?
aiming for?
No. For me, anorexia was a completely different thing. It
Oh,
was just
okay.
about taking control of something, and that something was food. I thought that I looked ugly. I seriously thought. Like, I could see that. I'm not blind. I had an idea of beauty which wasn't that, obviously. But I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't care how I look. I just want to have control over food. So that was with me.
They're all skeleton mans.
Yeah, Skellington Mans without arrows. So I don't know. I don't like those sites. Those sites are not really nice.
No, I mean any site that sort of promotes something that can cause harm to you is any. It doesn't even matter if it's something small or any of that sort of stuff. It's still something that's not good.
Yeah, and if you go to like, hold on, let me
Like
search for this one.
I never even knew about these sites. I would actually be
Like,
interested in outside of this to actually look up. Do these sites actually get taken down? Are they, you know?
they are getting taken down. Yeah,
Oh, they are taken. Okay, so they are being fought. Okay, so
they
at
are
least they're
trying
being
to.
done.
They are, yeah. Look at this one. Binging and purging. Promia tips and tricks. How to do it. Drink salt water after binging. This will retain all the water and make purging easy afterwards. They are aiming. This is what I did though. I followed these tips when I had bulimia and I was binging. Take laxatives. I did those too. Lots of water while eating. I did that. I followed all of these. Can of soda. It all helps. Like, seriously, look at the tips. Look how many of them are here. It's
Okay, it's
like this part. Look at this part. This is what I did, so I could make sure that my ex-husband wouldn't hear me throwing up. He never knew that I was doing this. Nobody ever knew I was doing this because I could hide it really well. So I don't know. It's just these sites are helpful and harmful. Also, I don't
Ben
know.
says.
Because if you're
Sorry, carry
sorry,
on.
yeah, I can't now. I can't be on chat. I can't see it somewhere
You
else.
meant you're in the same situation like years ago before. I guess it relates to your recent stuffs, but when you were working out, were there any symptoms?
I had the bulimia when I was working out in the first 1.5 year. It was ongoing. I did the workouts as well, and I was gaining weight as well, and I was gaining lean mass, but I was still binging and purging for 1.5 year. And then it stopped at some point, and I don't know how it stopped because I did nothing. It just went away on its own.
No, you can't stop her
Because
from eating.
against anorexia, I could actually do something. Like I that was a plan of mine to do that. Yeah, named yes. Emotionally, I didn't have any problem with binging and purging. I thought that was normal. I seriously thought that was okay to do that. That's why I didn't want to stop ever. That's why I never tried to quit it. I don't know how it went away. With anorexia, on the other hand, named yeah, way before that. With anorexia, I wanted to stop and I wanted to recover. So I made a plan. I made a workout plan. I made an eating plan. Like I started off around 800 calories per day, and I increased it in every 2 weeks by 200. So I went to 1,000 calories, then 1,200, 1,400, 1,600, 1,800, and I'm now I'm on around 2,000 and 2,500 in between how it goes. But not now because now I'm back in a very dark place. Been here for a while and I'm having trouble eating. And if I can eat twice a day and reach 2,000 calories, I'm really happy with myself because that's like a great job. But yeah, so the thing is, which I'm in trouble now because training used to help me, but it's not helping me anymore. And I don't know why. I don't enjoy training. It doesn't give me anything now. Yeah, because those are just part of my personality then. Like, I mean, if everything is okay and I'm without stress and like everything is calm around me and all of my friends are calm around me and nobody gets emotional around me, I'm okay. But like the triggers are, I don't know how, but it's like coming back lately. So it's getting worse. So there was a time where I thought that I was completely over it, but obviously I'm not, and I'm just really afraid to get back there where I was because I don't want that. Because but by the way, with with the anger stuff and splitting and all the borderline traits, I can deal with them if there is nothing else. But if there are other things like not eating and not being able to sleep and whatnot, is just too much to handle alone. If it would be only just a BPD, I would be like, whatever, I can cope with that because I usually could. I learned how to cope with most of the stuff. But when it gets together with all the EDs again and not being able to sleep enough and stressful job, actually two jobs and whatever, it's just too much. I can't really handle everything at all. So this is where I am now. I think I really need therapy because I'm not sure if I can cope alone. I don't know, Ohio. Minecraft kind of does, for example. But like, I don't know. I'm in a place where if you ask me what makes me happy, I can't really answer that because I can't really think of anything. It used to be training. Now I would say it's streaming, but streaming not always have. Sometimes it makes it worse. So it's not like an easy answer, and I don't have anything else. I used to enjoy a lot of things, but I just can't think of them right now. It's just nothing. And this is what a therapist would say: try to find things which would make you happy. But nothing makes me happy when I'm not happy. when you said, when you're having fun and go out, whatever you like to doing. Like for example, I like to dance when I'm happy, but when I'm sad, or fuck wants to dance. I don't want to dance. It won't make me happy because I don't even want to do it. Right now, what do I feel? Uh, I don't know. I'm sort of calm-ish, more like on the empty end, but I don't really feel anything. I don't know right now. It's yes, yes, I do. Actually, that was gonna be my next sentence. That it's kind of relief is kind of in there, which is good. So it actually had to talk about it and to show you guys the pictures and everything and tell you guys the whole thing, which I went through what I went through when I had those stuff going on. But it still freaking scares me that I realized that I'm on the same road I was before all that happened, and I just really don't want to go back there, and I'm not sure how to stop it because back then I had training, which helped a lot, and I should continue training, and I will, but it doesn't give me anything pleasant. It's a chore, which I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna force myself to do it, and I'm gonna force myself to eat properly. But forcing these stuff is just it's not good enough. I know, and I'm really grateful for that to have you guys here. You guys help a lot,
And also, the last
and I
time you
mean
went
it.
through it, you didn't have me.
Well, I wasn't alone, but I'm not sure how.
Yeah, but you didn't have me.
Okay, so you can be saying, okay, it's a
They just
nice
put a
idea to
smile on
have
your
that.
face.
Yes, you did.
And that's my goal. Put smiles on your face, and I don't know what else is my goal.
Okay, I think we should kind of end here. I don't know if you guys have any other questions.
Yeah, guys, is
Now
there
is
any
the
other
time to ask.
questions? Um, I suppose next Sunday, same time for the other one. Is it next Sunday?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
In a second, we got there.
okay.
Okay, so yeah, guys seem to be no real questions so far. So yeah, I'm just gonna say that in the next episode, which is gonna be next Sunday at the same time, we're gonna switch the roles around, and Demon's gonna talk about his issues, which are you say it.
Which are having Asperger's, having Asperger's syndrome, having dyslexia, and having attention
ADD.
deficit disorder, and how it kind of affected me, like through school and all that sort of stuff, and how I ended up getting to where I am, being a lot more confident in myself and all that sort of stuff. Because I had to come a long way to get to where I was, and I'm just glad I'm able to give with this type of thing. This type of web show that I'm able to. It's similar to Frag. I'm able to like voice my life stuff kind of to sort of so that other people understand what's going on, but also so that if anybody else is in the same situation, that they know that there is, you know, that they're not alone, and that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. That even
Also, if any of you ever struggles with any of the eating disorders, you can come to me, and I'm not sure I will be able to help, but I can share more details if you wish, and how I got through it. What were my coping mechanisms on the way of the recovery and whatever. So, just feel free to contact me anytime.
yeah,
You can find
guys.
me on Discord, wherever, Twitter, Let's just put the links up there.
Yeah,
Quickly.
guys. Where are we?
Twitter,
In
Discord, Facebook,
Oh,
everything. Like you message everywhere, everywhere if you have to. I'm gonna be there if you need help.
yeah, it's a shared Discord, guys. So please make sure that you're in there. Do follow both of us on Twitter, and thank you so much for joining us today. It has been today was I was actually kind of nervous when coming onto this because I didn't know how it was gonna
Yeah,
go.
me too. Yeah,
But
exactly.
thank you all
I would
for
say
being here,
it went okay as a first
and
episode.
well done to Frag Girl for hosting an
We
amazing.
already have a channel for this one.
Yeah,
Ash
there
in
is
Discord.
one. There should be one there anyway. It's
There
called.
is one.
Yeah, so if there is a channel in the Discord, so if you do have any more questions, just type in there. If anybody finds anything online or any of that sort of stuff, just start posting, useful information in there to do with the web show on various different topics we're covering. If there's something that like you want to be covered, I suppose if you posted in there as well, we might be able to figure out something.
If you wanna get on the show as well, if you wanna talk about your issues, you're more than welcome to. I really want this show to go where we cover everything eventually.
Yeah, so if anybody's
You
got
don't
issues,
have to be a streamer, you don't have to be, and if you wanna talk, you can talk on here. If you're willing to talk about your issues, then we're gonna make an episode out of it. So just message us and we make it happen. Okay, guys?
Guys, we appreciate you all so much, especially with everybody.
Thank you for watching and thank you for staying here.
What will we raid somebody?
No, after this, I think we should just stop.
You think we should just stop, not host anybody?
Yes. I don't think we should host.
Okay. Well, guys, thank you very much. We really do appreciate you all. See, all the hearts in chat for you. I'm not going to take any of the hearts. They're all for you. Everybody loves you.
Thank you, guys.
All of you guys are amazing. The fact that all of you showed up today shows that it is something that was good to do. And Frag, you did an amazing job organizing all this.
Thank you.
You might have gotten a little bit of help from moi, but you did a lot of it yourself. And I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, all the artwork and everything you see in the background, all the layout of my stream is basically more or less all thanks to Frag. Like, she did all the artwork and all that sort of stuff. She did an amazing job preparing for this. Sadly, I don't have a camera yet, but
we will have soon.
That will be soon. She's smiling, so yeah, I probably will have soon. So that aside, anyway, thank you guys so much. You're absolutely amazing. I can't.
And see you on this show on
next
Sunday.
Next Sunday,
15.
3 p.m. Irish time,
GMT.
British Standard Time, GMT, whatever you want to call it. Just I'd love to see you around because I'm kind of excited to. Since how well this did, I'm kind of excited to talk about my stuff.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. Trust me.
Love you all, guys.
I didn't really cry, so we're good. Love you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.